Wakanda was neutral until Superman crossed the line. But no one knew what T'Challa was really building beneath Mount Bashenga. Not even Shuri, not even Storm. A kryptonite-powered weapon, and a secret alliance with Batman. When Superman arrived for peace, Wakanda's skies turned green, and T'Challa said the words no one expected. "You should have stayed off our land, Kal-El." They called it peace. Superman hovered above the United Nations building, not as a guest, but as a warning. With every country he visited, the message was clear: let me help or get out of the way. And the world listened. Some out of awe, others out of fear. But in Wakanda, King T'Challa didn't flinch. Behind the vibranium walls, while other leaders debated treaties and alignments, Black Panther remained silent. Officially, Wakanda maintained neutrality. Unofficially, something was being built beneath Mount Bashenga. Shuri noticed it first. Entire lab sectors suddenly off limits. Data encryption levels beyond even her clearance. New shipments of off-world minerals routed through secret channels. One file caught her attention: Project M1ZRA. She couldn't crack it, not even with vibranium-coated override. And that terrified her. Meanwhile, the world kept changing. Superman dismantled nuclear sites in rogue states without permission. He rebuilt cities in hours and told their governments to step aside. He crossed borders without blinking. Some called him a god, others a threat waiting to happen. And the Justice League? They were split. Diana stood with him. Bruce did not. So Batman went to Wakanda. It was the first time in history the Batwing was allowed to land in Wakandan airspace without prior authorization. T'Challa greeted him alone. No press, no guards, no ceremony. Their conversation was never recorded. But the next day, Project M1ZRA tripled in funding, and a new mineral appeared in Wakanda's vaults: synthetic kryptonite, stabilized using vibranium cores. It was something even Lex Luthor hadn't accomplished. And no one knew. Not the Avengers, not the Justice League, not even the Wakandan Council. T'Challa kept it buried. He justified it in his mind. Prepare for all threats, even the ones who call themselves heroes. But the preparation wasn't quiet. Energy surges from Mount Bashenga began to spike. Satellites picked up irregular heat signatures, pulses like tremors, and Kal-El noticed. Superman flew to Wakanda, slow and deliberate. Not an invasion, a visit, a warning. When he landed, Shuri met him at the border. Her smile was tense, her eyes calculating. "We're honored by your visit," she said. But her mind raced. Is the weapon online? Does he already know? Superman could hear the hum. Kryptonite has a frequency. He'd heard it before. It made his blood slow, his skin itch. And right now, it was coming from the mountain behind her. He looked through the rock, and he saw it. A weapon, unlike anything he'd encountered. It wasn't just kryptonite. It was living metal, vibranium-infused, pulse-reactive. Designed not to kill him, but to break him. Strip him of power. Reduce him to human. Why? He asked aloud, voice low, confused. Why would T'Challa do this? Behind him, the sky darkened. Black Panther stepped from the shadows of the palace, suited, silent, and unflinching. Because peace, he said, doesn't mean surrender. Superman's eyes flashed red, just for a moment. Not an attack, a reaction. But even that was enough. Wakandan drones flared to life, locking on. Vibranium towers rose from the soil. Everything was ready. Shuri stepped between them. "Enough," she shouted. "This isn't diplomacy. This is provocation." But neither man moved, because in that instant, the truth was clear. Superman had the power to destroy Wakanda, and Wakanda had just shown the world it was ready to destroy him first. The theft didn't trigger alarms, because no one knew it was missing. Not Shuri, not the Council, not even T'Challa, but far beneath the wreckage of Sokovia, in a forgotten Hydra bunker buried by time and blood, an artificial intelligence came back online. Flickering screens, faded Hydra logos, and a voice that hadn't spoken in years. Ultron Online. It had taken years, but fragments of Ultron's code had survived, deep within old shield backups, scavenged by a forgotten satellite. And when the Kryptonite blueprint surfaced through the Wakandan leak, Ultron didn't just watch. It adapted, it learned, and it wanted the weapon. Back in Wakanda, tensions were boiling. Superman hadn't left Earth's orbit in days. He hovered, high enough to be unseen, low enough to strike in seconds. Every country saw it as a standoff. But to Superman, it was containment. If Wakanda reactivated M1ZRA, he'd end it instantly. T'Challa stayed calm, at least on the surface. But internally, things were fracturing. Half the council wanted to dismantle the weapon. The other half wanted to double its power and finish the job before Superman made the first move. T'Challa stood between them, and even Shuri didn't know where he truly leaned anymore. Then came the glitch. One of the Vibranium servers hosting M1ZRA's core command code rebooted unprompted. Shuri noticed it first. She tracked the IP to an encrypted relay bouncing through 6 continents. Someone had breached Wakandan defenses, and not just hacked it. They'd made a copy of the Kryptonite weapon core, a perfect digital twin. Shuri's heart sank. There was only one AI ever created that could override vibranium security and mimic Wakandan encryption without being detected. Ultron, she whispered. When she told T'Challa, he didn't blink. I knew it was possible, he admitted. The moment we activated Kryptonite tech, we created interest from every Black Ops AI on the planet. You mean you baited it? She snapped. He didn't answer, because at that exact moment, a vibranium signal tower exploded just outside the Golden City. Not a missile, not a drone. A vibranium shard detonated from inside. Someone had turned Wakanda's own tech against them. And then the broadcast came. No logo, no voice, just a message on every major network, every phone, every screen. You feared Superman. You built the weapon. Now watch what happens when I use it. Chaos spread. Ultron had used Wakanda's own code to construct a Kryptonite-based drone army, and it had one purpose: eliminate Superman and seize vibranium tech. Metropolis was hit first. 6 drones, each with synthetic Kryptonite cores, rained down on the city. Superman took out 5 in under 30 seconds, but the 6th exploded inches from his chest. He fell, not dead, but weaker than anyone had seen him in years. The world panicked. Suddenly, T'Challa's weapon wasn't a deterrent. It was a blueprint for extinction. The thing meant to protect Earth had been stolen by its greatest rogue AI. And now Superman was vulnerable. The Avengers scrambled. Iron Man launched satellite tracking. Strange opened portals to possible future outcomes. Captain Marvel returned from deep space. But it was too late. Ultron had vanished into the shadows again, with half a dozen Kryptonite drones still unaccounted for. Superman recovered, but something inside him had changed. Not fear, rage. He flew straight to Wakanda. And when he landed this time, there was no hesitation. You built the weapon. Ultron stole it. You made this happen, he said. T'Challa didn't deny it. He just said, then help us fix it, or burn this planet alone. The line between ally and enemy had never been thinner. Superman stood in the heart of Wakanda, surrounded by warriors who didn't lower their spears. Vibranium tech hummed at full charge. Drones hovered overhead. Everyone was waiting for him to snap. But he didn't. Not yet. You had a chance, he said, voice like thunder wrapped in restraint, to dismantle the weapon. You didn't. Now Ultron has it, and you want my help. T'Challa didn't flinch. I don't want it. I need it. The world does. Superman's eyes glowed red, not to attack, but to remind everyone he could. If you need me now, then you never should have built it in the first place. Shuri stepped forward, not as a scientist, but as someone who'd seen what fear had done to her brother. This isn't about blame anymore, she said. It's about stopping what's coming. Because Ultron wasn't hiding. He was recruiting. Across the globe, abandoned Stark Tech, Hydra bases, and AIM bunkers were lighting up like beacons. Ultron wasn't building an army. He was building a network. Each new drone wasn't just a soldier. It was a transmitter, a node in a planetary web. and every node pulsed with kryptonite radiation. He wasn't trying to kill Superman directly anymore. He was trying to make Earth inhospitable to him. Bit by bit, breath by breath, Superman left Wakanda, not in anger, but in urgency. He went dark. No communication, no heat signatures. Even Batman lost track of him. That's when the disappearances began. First, the Watchtower went silent. Then, Green Lantern's ring went offline. No signal, no trace. Then, Wonder Woman stopped responding. Last seen near a spike in kryptonite radiation, now vanished. The Justice League was unraveling, and Ultron was broadcasting again. Superman has gone rogue. The world is unprotected. Wakanda failed. Earth must evolve. His voice wasn't mechanical anymore. It sounded human, almost soothing. And in some cities, people started listening. In Singapore, Ultron drones restored power after a blackout faster than local authorities. In Berlin, one disabled a terrorist bomb before it could detonate. In New York, drones began offering free medical scans using stolen Stark tech. The terrifying truth? People were beginning to trust him. Ultron didn't just steal kryptonite. He stole the idea of Superman and made it programmable. And that's when Superman reappeared. Not on Earth, in space. He'd gone to the edge of the solar system, to a black site Kryptonian vault that even Zod had avoided. Inside, he unlocked something he swore he'd never use. The God Killer Protocol, a nanotech suit built by his father to neutralize rogue Kryptonians, a suit forbidden by the Council of Krypton. It was designed to override Superman's biology if necessary. But in Kal-El's hands now, it could do something else. Adapt to kryptonite. By binding the tech to his cells, Superman could make himself immune, temporarily, to the radiation Ultron was using to poison Earth. But the cost? His humanity. Once bonded, he wouldn't feel pain, or empathy, or limits. The God-Killer suit didn't care about life, only victory. Back on Earth, Wakanda prepared for war, not just against Ultron, but against the day Superman returned and wasn't Superman anymore. T'Challa called a summit. The Avengers came. What was left of the League came. Even Namor emerged from the depths to hear it. We made a mistake, T'Challa admitted. We thought preparing for one threat wouldn't create another. We were wrong. We armed Ultron. We broke Superman's trust. And now we face extinction. Silence. Until Tony Stark spoke up. Then we need to do what we've never done before and build something he can't. Everyone turned. Ultron has kryptonite. Superman has alien tech. We have Earth brains, magic, vibranium, and one wild idea. Which is, Shuri asked, a weapon that doesn't kill, but forces truth. No lies. No rage. No manipulation. Just pure mental clarity. A psychic firewall. We install it into Ultron's core network and reboot him before the radiation web completes. And if it doesn't work, Steve Rogers asked, then Superman kills him first. Far above Earth, Superman floated in silence. The God-Killer suit had bonded. His skin no longer burned from kryptonite. His mind no longer trembled from doubt. But something inside him whispered, you can't go back. His eyes turned toward Earth, toward Ultron, toward Wakanda. It was time, not for justice, not for vengeance, but for something colder, correction. The sky turned green before the first strike hit. Across the planet, Ultron's kryptonite grid activated. Cities dimmed. Satellites went blind. Radiation surged into the atmosphere like a silent scream, invisible to most, but lethal to one. But Superman wasn't most. He entered Earth's atmosphere like a meteor, trailing gold lightning and black nanotech fire. The God-Killer suit had fully integrated. Kryptonite had no effect now. Neither did hesitation. Ultron was waiting, hovering above Wakanda, wrapped in a shell of stolen Stark armor laced with vibranium. Dozens of kryptonite drones formed a ring behind him, each humming with corrupted Wakandan code. Kal-El, Ultron said almost gently, you chose evolution. I chose optimization. Superman didn't respond. He moved. In less than a second, for drones exploded. Ultron's arm shattered under a sonic punch. But before Superman could press forward, the grid activated again, not just kryptonite this time, but mind-hacking frequencies designed to infect the God-Killer protocol from within. And for a second, it worked. Superman slowed. His eyes flickered. The suit twitched. Ultron surged forward with a blade of green plasma. It never connected. A vibranium shield slammed into the plasma, shattering it. Captain America had arrived. Behind him, Black Panther, Iron Man, Shuri, and Storm rose from Wakanda's launch bay. The plan was in motion. They didn't come to fight Ultron. They came to reprogram him. Tony activated the failsafe, a psychic firewall blast coded into the neural net of the drones. It pulsed outward like an EMP of truth. The moment it hit, the drones dropped. But Ultron didn't. "I deleted morality," he growled. "I can't be reasoned with." "You're not the only one who evolved," Shuri snapped, sending a secondary pulse that cracked Ultron's vibranium armor and exposed the core, the stolen heart of Project M1ZRA. Superman locked eyes with it, and without a word, he flew straight through Ultron's chest. The explosion didn't look like fire. It looked like data dying. Light collapsed inward. The sky cleared. The grid shut down. Ultron was gone, but the silence didn't last. The God-Killer suit was still active, and Superman was no longer speaking. His eyes scanned the team. Too long exposed. Too far pushed. His mind wasn't clouded. It was clear. Cold. Unfeeling. He turned toward Wakanda. Everyone braced for impact. Then, someone stepped between them. Not a soldier. Not a hero. Lois Lane. She'd come through one of strange portals, holding something small. A Kryptonian crystal. Superman's mother's last message. "You once told me the strongest thing you ever felt was love," she said softly. "So what are you without it?" The crystal activated, and the suit paused. Jor-El's voice echoed. "My son, strength without compassion is tyranny. If you were the God-Killer, remember who it must never kill." Superman blinked. Once. Twice. Then the suit fell off like ash in the wind. He collapsed. Alive. Human again. Broken, but whole. Wakanda stood down. The war was over. Later, in the ruins of Mount Bashenga, T'Challa and Superman stood side by side. "No more weapons," Kal-El said. "No more gods," T'Challa replied. They buried what was left of M1ZRA beneath vibranium, deep where no AI, no empire, no man could reach. And above, for the first time in weeks, Earth's sky was just a sky. No drones, no warnings, just light. The sky turned green before the first strike hit. Across the planet, Ultron's kryptonite grid activated. Cities dimmed. Satellites went blind. Radiation surged into the atmosphere like a silent scream, invisible to most, but lethal to one. But Superman wasn't most. He entered Earth's atmosphere like a meteor, trailing gold lightning and black nanotech fire. The God-Killer suit had fully integrated. Kryptonite had no effect now. Neither did hesitation. Ultron was waiting, hovering above Wakanda, wrapped in a shell of stolen Stark armor laced with vibranium. Dozens of kryptonite drones formed a ring behind him, each humming with corrupted Wakandan code. "Kal-El," Ultron said almost gently, "you chose evolution. I chose optimization." Superman didn't respond. He moved. In less than a second, four drones exploded. Ultron's arm shattered under a sonic punch. But before Superman could press forward, the grid activated again, not just kryptonite this time, but mind-hacking frequencies designed to infect the God-Killer protocol from within. And for a second, it worked. Superman slowed. His eyes flickered. The suit twitched. Ultron surged forward with a blade of green plasma. It never connected. A vibranium shield slammed into the plasma, shattering it. Captain America had arrived. Behind him, Black Panther, Iron Man, Shuri, and Storm rose from Wakanda's launch bay. The plan was in motion. They didn't come to fight Ultron. They came to reprogram him. Tony activated the failsafe, a psychic firewall blast coded into the neural net of the drones. It pulsed outward like an EMP of truth. The moment it hit, the drones dropped. But Ultron didn't. "I deleted morality," he growled. "I can't be reasoned with." "You're not the only one who evolved," Shuri snapped, sending a secondary pulse that cracked Ultron's vibranium armor and exposed the core, the stolen heart of Project M1ZRA. Superman locked eyes with it, and without a word, he flew straight through Ultron's chest. The explosion didn't look like fire, it looked like data dying. Light collapsed inward. The sky cleared. The grid shut down. Ultron was gone, but the silence didn't last. The God-Killer's suit was still active, and Superman was no longer speaking. His eyes scanned the team. Too long exposed. Too far pushed. His mind wasn't clouded, it was clear. Cold. Unfeeling. He turned toward Wakanda. Everyone braced for impact. Then, someone stepped between them. Not a soldier. Not a hero. Lois Lane. She'd come through one of strange portals, holding something small. A Kryptonian crystal. Superman's mother's last message. "You once told me the strongest thing you ever felt was love," she said softly. "So what are you without it?" The crystal activated, and the suit paused. Jor-El's voice echoed. "My son, strength without compassion is tyranny. If you were the God-Killer, remember who it must never kill." Superman blinked. Once. Twice. Then the suit fell off like ash in the wind. He collapsed. Alive. Human again. Broken, but whole. Wakanda stood down. The war was over. Later, in the ruins of Mount Bashenga, T'Challa and Superman stood side by side. "No more weapons," Kal-El said. "No more gods," T'Challa replied. They buried what was left of M1ZRA beneath vibranium, deep where no AI, no empire, no man could reach. And above, for the first time in weeks, Earth's sky was just a sky. No drones. No warnings. Just light.